Good afternoon, Senator Sullivan, Senator Gore. Appreciate the opportunity to be here as well. Thank you to Senator Hadley and Senator Mello for your presence here today. Extremely important issue, and really can't say enough about how important it is that we talk about this issue. My name is Steve Nelson. I'm president of the Nebraska Farm Bureau. I'm here to testify on behalf of the Nebraska Farm Bureau today, but I'm also a farmer from Axtell, Nebraska. I farm with my son there, and we raise irrigated corn, soybeans, and hybrid seed corn. I've offered written testimony. Along with that testimony are some suggestions or answers to the questions that you ask that we provide suggestions to, and I'm not really planning on covering those. What I'm going to start with today, and I know that there's been talk about not continuing to describe the problem, but I just want to go over the chart for a little bit, because this really lays out the basis for where my members are coming from. So if you look at the chart that's been handed out, and on the left side you see farm household, and on the right side you see a non-farm household. And what we show here is that when it comes to income tax, the non-farm household and the farm household essentially pay the same income tax based on whatever their earnings are. When it comes to sales tax, the non-farm household and the farm and ranch household pay sales tax on the things that they buy as consumers. We're pretty similar on each side at that point. Also, when it comes to property tax, and it's been talked about before today, but as you well know, farmers pay 100% on their homes, whether it, on the farm, just like people in town pay on 100% of the valuation. Farmers also pay 100% on the valuation of their farm site, their buildings, and we also have personal property tax on equipment that is on those farms as well. Where the big difference is, and obviously this is not a surprise to you, but we have to talk about where the big difference is, and that's the fact that this farm and ranch household pays on their agricultural land where there's nothing else that balances that out on the other side. It's not uncommon today for a farm and ranch family to be paying over $50,000 in property tax, where a non-farm household would be in the $5,000 or so area. The reason that it's important for me to lay that out is because that really helps us get to where we think the solutions are. You're absolutely correct that what we need to talk about are solutions. Everyone here wants to have adequate funding for education. Maybe even adequate isn't the right word, but the necessary needed funding for education. Also, I think everyone in the room would say that we want a fair and equitable tax system. We want fairness and equity in who pays for that education, the educational system that we have. We do not have that today. We have a huge imbalance in who pays for the education of children in the state of Nebraska. That's what I'm here to talk about. We have, again, attached are some of the ideas that we have related to the questions that you asked. Essentially, those are in lots of respects Band-Aid solutions. And what I'd like to talk about maybe when we get into questions is the fact that our organization is in the middle of our process of policy development today. It's going on in Kearney as we speak. And we have a lot of things that we're talking about, some changes, and I'd like to talk about those in your questions, so I'll respect the time and stop there.